What up guys, it's Sync. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a little class design that I did. Again, like all other class designs that I do, I need your honest feedback and what you guys think of it and are they legit for Adventure Quest worlds. Alright, let's start it up. And the class design starts here. Alright guys, this is OblivionFiend. This class is designed to target the opponent's soul, killing them from the inside out. Alright, let's talk about the enhancements. Boop. Alright, this has the same caster build. This is a wizard, by the way. The same caster build as healer and Archfiend. It doesn't have the strong build like Mindbreaker and Mage, but I'll show you exactly why, and I'll show you a comparison of the two stat builds and tell you exactly why this is the stat build that is best for the class. Let's talk about the skills. Alright, this is the auto attack that I made up for my void classes, because this is just absolutely wonderful how they're set up and everything. Alright, the auto attack is called Void Spark. Chances of negating your next auto attack to increase your next skill's damage. Cooldown 2 seconds, physical attack, range close. Basically what this does, this is your simple 100% weapon damage, but it has a 20% chance of negating your next auto attack to increase your next skill that does damage by 20%. Alright, the first skill is Soul Star. Torments the opponent's soul for light damage, making it more evil, causing their will to fight to hinder, lowering their hit chance by 8% that lasts for 10 seconds. This stacks to 5. Mana 12, cooldown 3 seconds. Magical skill, range farm. Basically what this does, it doesn't deal a lot of damage, but your class is going to revolve around the Soul Stock skill. Max stat, this does a 40% hit chance debuff, which is absolutely crazy for a class that will even get this high if you let it live long enough in PvP, of course. Alright guys, the second skill is Chilling Arc. Launches frozen iron energy, hitting up to 4 people for moderate damage. Adds a gear which lowers the target's haste for 8 seconds. The debuff becomes weaker with each bounce. Mana 18, cooldown 12 seconds. It's a magical skill and the range is far. Basically what this does is a pretty decent AoE spell. 170% weapon damage, and the haste buff starts at 20% and it decreases by 5% with each bounce. So basically you just do the math. The second one gets 15, the third gets 10, and the last one gets 5. Last one gets 5% of haste debuff. Alright guys, the third skill is Temporal Rend. Rips through the target's mind for moderate damage, causing your thoughts to leak out, allowing you to steal their status moves for 6 seconds. Mana 36, cooldown 20 seconds. It's a magical skill and the range is far. What this does has the same weapon damage percent as Chilling Arc, 170%, but for 6 seconds, it allows you to steal the target's status moves for the duration. For people who don't know what a status move is, any class skill that is able to cast without being targeted on the opponent is a status move. Like for example, if you're fighting Elemental Dracomancer and you got Temporal Rend on the target, if they use skills for that duration, they won't be able to use skills. It will be negated, meaning they can't use it, but it will be applied to whoever casted Temporal Rend. So they will be granted skills for the duration for the same amount for the same time. Same for any other skill. Any other status skill like a heal, a buff, anything, it will be applied to the user, whoever casts Temporal Rend. Alright guys, so let's talk about the rank for passives. Now before I get into it, I've done my research. How am I going to say this? No class, no caster class in Adventure Quest worlds has an endurance passive that raises its endurance. And I've done my research. If there is a class that I missed, let me know in the comments, because I don't think there is one. Maybe because a majority of the caster classes have a mage build, which gains mana based on their health total when they do damage. So more endurance might be crucial for a caster build class because it would have maybe a little bit too much mana regain, but this class has a endurance and a mage build, but it doesn't do a lot of damage, so it evens out with the class. The first passive is Void Stoicism. Increases your endurance by 15%. This raises your overall hit points, your health, enable for better survival ability and more time to fight and stack and whatever you have to do with the class. Now this is very crucial to a caster class because, like I said earlier, more health, more mana when you do damage with caster classes when they have a caster build. So this is really helpful for the class for its costly mana skills for a rapid mana regain. Alright, the next passive is Guard of the Void. Increases your damage resistance by 12%. This knocks off a little bit of damage, any type of damage, not a magical, physical, any type of damage that is applied to you just by a little bit to help you survive longer and let you long enough to stack. Alright guys, the last skill is Soul Judgment. Since their soul to know got to be judged, based on how many stacks that are on the target applies diminished, lowering their damage output for 10 seconds. But how many stacks that are not on the opponent applies trivial, lowering your chance to critically strike the sending a soul who still has good in it. Mana 28, cooldown 25 seconds. It's a magical skill and the range is far. You guys are probably right. Sink, I didn't really get what you said. Please be more specific. Of course I'm going to be more specific, because you're probably going to be like, what the fuck, what type of skill is this? So I have to be very specific with my classes. The skill does 0 damage, but it's a guaranteed hit if you have at least one soul stack on the target. Each stack applies a 10% damage output debuff on the target. Now, if you max that with all 5 stacks, it'll be a 50% damage output debuff on the target. Now, I said by how many stacks that are not on the opponent applies trivial, lowering your chance to critically strike. Now, if you have max stacks on the target, you don't have to worry about that. It won't put a debuff on you. It won't lower your chance to critically strike. But by how many not you have will lower your chance to critically strike by 5% each stack. Let's say you only have 1 stack on the opponent. You're going to have a 20% critical chance debuff on you, and then go down each time with each stack that you apply on the target. When you put all the skills together and you see exactly how this class runs, you'll be really surprised by how effective this class can really be over time. Now, and as I said, the first stack does 8% with each stack, stacks to 5 with a 40% max stat, lowering your hit chance. If you're in PvP, I would recommend you start off with the skill, lowering their hit chance. The Chilling Arc is an extra 107% weapon damage, lowering the hasty buff by 20%, allowing them to hit slower and give you more time to stack. Temporary is an extra boost of damage, 170% also, and also a great defensive skill, and also maybe a supportive skill to other members if you apply this on the target and you steal the heal or damage output or any buff over status move that they have, which is really good. As for Soul Judgment, make sure you have enough stacks to even out your chance. If you might not get enough stacks, even it out enough chance to lower the damage output compared to the lowering of your critical strike to cripple them and still kill them over time with that effective ability. Alright guys, now let me compare the two caster belts to tell you exactly why the healer base is better for this class. Now, as you see, the left is healer, the right is mage. Healer has a higher haste buff and more endurance than the mage. I believe full wizard and level 65 enhancements, you have a 30% haste buff, and I believe the mage is only somewhere around in the low 20s. Even though that the mage full wizard is about 800 and about 850 spell power, the healer is a little bit under, but it has more endurance and more haste, and this is what you need with this class: the faster ability to stack and more survival and more health to keep you alive and keep them going. Alright guys, that basically sums it up for this video. Let me know what you think about the class and how it is. Any minor suggestions that you think about the class, let me know in the comments or message me on Twitter or Facebook. I'll always reply. Next up, tomorrow is a new release. I'm probably going to do a walkthrough of what's coming in the shops or whatever that comes tomorrow. And also, one more thing guys, happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys for watching my videos. Catch you guys later. See ya.
father's son, cause he's a phantom, a mystery, and that leaves me nothing. Many times if you wanted to die, it's too late for me. All you have to do is get rid of me. You can't take California without money.